Please help me welcome host of the news and why it matters on the Blaze TV, Sara Gonzales. Sara, when we initially talked, you brought up that you were a graduate of Plano ISD schools. What was it like when you attended?
My experience was quite different than what is going on right now. It was a regular school like you would think of, that they actually taught you reading, writing, and arithmetic, you know? We didn't have any problems with any of the school libraries. And so it was very concerning to me to see how much it's changed in such a short amount of time. We weren't sexualized by our teachers or our librarians. That was just not, I don't even think I knew if my teachers were married or what sexuality they were. I mean, that was just not something that we discussed at school. And it's just really devastating to see a school district that, it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it was good. It was a good, solid education that I got in Plano ISD all those years ago. And it's just really sad to see how far down, how badly it's gotten.
It was uncomfortable just watching you read that excerpt. How uncomfortable was it for you to read it during the meeting?
I mean, it was not great, right? It doesn't give you a great feeling to do that. But I also know that was kind of the intention, was make them uncomfortable. Because if adults are that uncomfortable being read these words, how do you think the children feel when they open the books and read those words and aren't yet ready to process them? And so it didn't feel great. It certainly wasn't like a fun moment that I like to relive. But I know also that there are not a lot of people who are willing to go up there and do it because it is so uncomfortable. And I thought, I know I can do it because of my public speaking experience. I know that, I have the courage to do it. So, if not me, then who? And I know that there are a handful of moms who are out there doing just that. And I think that it's so important for them to be doing it, because there are a lot of people who back up and say, oh, that's too uncomfortable, I can't do it. And the ones who do have the spirit to do that, I think really absolutely have to be standing up and doing it as often as possible.
Why are you so passionate about defending the children and protecting what their eyes see?
I mean, I have two boys. I have two young boys that I am trying to raise in this society. And as a mom, it is just greatly concerning to see our children being sexualized and indoctrinated at every single turn. You can't go to a restaurant without there being an all ages drag show. You can't go to a school library without them trying to teach your children how to do oral sex on each other. I mean, they are being attacked right now in our society at every turn. And my position on that is that it's because for so long we've kind of been asleep. And we've said, you know what, we want to live and let live. We don't want to bother anyone else. We're just going to sit here and we're going to raise our families the way that we want to raise our families. And that's what we're going to do. And in the meantime, the other side has unfortunately been infiltrating in academia, in our, education systems, and in so many different industries that we have now seen a whole generation become indoctrinated because we were asleep. And so I made it a promise to myself that I said, I am going to be able to look my children when they grow up, obviously, look my children in the eye and tell them, I have done literally everything that I could do to make the world a better place. I did everything that I could to protect you guys. And, so often I hear from people, and typically it's on the other side, but I hear from people, well, why aren't you, you should just be at home with your kids. Why are you doing this on the weekends? Why aren't you spending time with your kids? And I think that it's important for people to recognize people who share our beliefs and share our values, but think, well, I'm too busy. I have my kids on the weekend. I can't take the time to do it. And the point is that I am doing it for my children, right? It's a sacrifice that I'm making, but the ultimate goal is for my children. And so I think that it's important that people kind of reframe their minds to remember, like, the time is now. We've got to do this for the kids. And if that means taking some extra time on the weekend to show up and be heard, and if that means, in this particular case that we're talking about in Plano ISD, if that means that you get a sitter and you go sit there for 5 hours while they try to smoke you out because they don't want you to be heard, and you take the time to go do that, and you're tired the next day because you took the time to do it and make your voice heard, then that's what it means. Because I think that the changes that we've seen are because we have had parents who have finally stood up and said, not now, not to my kids. And the public pushback that these school districts have gotten has resulted in changes. I think just people need to be encouraged to just keep it up.
Well, Sara, we couldn't have done this without you, and we are very appreciative for you taking the time out and attending the school board meeting with our team.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for what you do. It's going to take all of us to save the kids, so I appreciate you.